Tonight, we're grieving as a family, as a community, the loss of a beautiful, beautiful boy. Think about his silly personality, the way he loved to dance, those big, beautiful brown eyes and his dimples.
More than 100 locals attended an emotional candlelight vigil in Merrimack, New Hampshire on the evening of Sunday, October the 24th of 2021. The tearful townsfolk came together for 5-year-old Elijah Lewis, who was reported missing earlier that month. But unlike some vigils, they weren't praying for his safe return because, sadly, investigators had discovered his battered and emaciated body in a shallow grave in Massachusetts the day before. And shortly thereafter, Elijah's mother, Danielle, and her boyfriend, Joseph, were arrested in New York and charged with a number of shocking crimes shortly after fleeing to the state.
I'm not going to agree to that, no, because I know what happened. No, we did not hurt that little boy, and I do not appreciate you saying that we did. No one hurt that little boy. We are not monsters.
Elijah was born in Arizona on January 7th of 2016. We don't know much about his childhood, but in many respects he was a stereotypical boy. He had tons of energy, a beautiful smile, big brown eyes, adorable dimples, and an endearing sense of humor. But unfortunately, he developed a number of behavioral and developmental issues at a very early age. His parents, Danielle Dufresne and Timothy Lewis, divorced in 2017 when he was just a year old. Elijah stayed with his father when his mother moved to Merrimack, New Hampshire. Danielle eventually lost touch with her son and her ex-husband and started another family. Even so, she tried to track Elijah down because she missed him and wanted to be a part of his life. To her surprise, Timothy and Elijah showed up at her home in Merrimack, New Hampshire in the spring of 2020. By then, she hadn't seen her son for 4 years. As happy as she was to see him, the situation was far from ideal. Danielle lived with her new boyfriend, Joseph Stempf, and their 2-year-old daughter in Joseph's mother's basement on Sunset Drive in Merrimack. They were having enough trouble taking care of their own child, and to make matters worse, they were both struggling with on-again, off-again drug addictions. Danielle didn't know it, but Elijah's issues and behavior had gotten far worse since the last time she saw him.
You just said he might be autistic.
Okay.
And this is not autistic. I have an autistic nephew who is, but yeah, he would scratch.
Okay.
He would sit there and bite his arms. He would, what else did he do? He would like slap him in his, like do weird stuff. Like I just didn't like, I couldn't, I needed him out of my house. I needed him out to get help. Not that I didn't love him and want him. I loved him. I love him so much. I just needed him to get help. And I was just watching him suffer and I couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? I couldn't do nothing.
Now, when did you ever have suspicions that he was sleepwalking?
Well, yeah, because sometimes I would find him just standing in the kitchen randomly. Just standing there. Or in the bathroom with the door shut with the lights off. And I would walk in and like he would just be standing there. Like scary, freaky stuff. I don't know if it's sleepwalking because you can talk when you're sleepwalking, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I mean, probably.
I don't know.
Okay.
She would hide knives under his bed, tacks under his bed. He would steal things from our kitchen, and he would just do a bunch of stuff that not a normal little boy would do.
Danielle said that Elijah caused so much stress and chaos in the home that she and Joseph relapsed and started using heroin again.
And during this day, how many times would you say that you used heroin?
In this day?
Yes.
When I woke up, and then I probably would have used it in the afternoon, because when you're pregnant, you have to use a little. It's so f***ed up. I don't like talking about it. Anyways, a few times during the day, and then at night I would use a few times because I would get sick quick.
Okay.
Things eventually got so bad that Danielle called Elijah's father, Timothy, and asked if he would take him back, but he refused. Danielle wanted to get her son the help he so desperately needed, but she didn't have the money to hire a therapist or a psychiatrist. She even reached out to a number of state agencies, but she claimed they told her that she was a bad mother and that there was nothing they could do. As the situation worsened, Danielle and Joseph regularly vented their anger and frustration by texting back and forth about the issues they were having with Elijah. In one text, Danielle told Joseph that Elijah asked her to stop starving him because it's not nice. Later, she told Joseph that she gave him a small bowl of cereal so he would shut the fuck up. Joseph replied that she needed to fatten him up. In another text, Danielle told him that she hit Elijah with a shower curtain rod. Another said, "I'm going to kill him, and I mean it." Danielle also sent one of her friends a few texts that were equally disturbing. In one, she compared Elijah to the prolific American serial killers Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer. Before signing off, she added, "I want him gone. I can't handle it anymore." Elijah's father, Timothy, contacted the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services Division for Children, Youth, and Families in the fall of 2020 because he was concerned for his well-being. Caseworkers visited the home and took 5-year-old Elijah for a medical checkup shortly thereafter. Elijah had bruising and abrasions to his face, neck, and arms, and was just 32 pounds, significantly underweight for a boy of his age. Even so, he was sent back to the basement apartment he shared with his mother and her boyfriend and their younger daughter. Danielle got pregnant again in early 2021 and gave birth to a baby boy that October. But 3 days later, Joseph dropped his newborn son off at the Catholic Medical Center in Manchester, about 11 miles north of Merrimack. As drug addicts with a toddler and an impossibly difficult 5-year-old, they knew they could not give the baby the care it needed. As such, they decided their only option was to take advantage of the state's safe haven law, which allowed parents to surrender newborns at designated locations without fear of facing legal action down the road. Even so, hospital staff contacted the New Hampshire Division of Children, Youth, and Families, where tests revealed that the child was born with a drug dependency. Caseworkers immediately opened an investigation, and later that day, Joseph told his mother not to bring Elijah up from the basement if anyone came looking for him. Danielle also instructed Joseph's mother not to mention Elijah's name ever again. Caseworkers stopped by the home to check on Elijah on multiple occasions, but he was never there. At that point, they suspected that he no longer lived there and that he might be in serious danger. On October the 14th of 2021, they called the police and reported him missing. Danielle initially claimed that Elijah was staying with his sister in California, but later she said that he was with his brother in Texas. When investigators contacted them to verify Danielle's story, they told him that she asked them to lie about his whereabouts if anyone were to call and ask where he was. The police got a search warrant to search the Stampf home on October the 15th of 2021. Danielle and Joseph weren't there, but investigators found documents showing that Danielle was in the process of temporarily handing custody of Elijah over to her sister in California. They also found it odd that there were no photographs of him anywhere in the house, and even more suspiciously, they found a trash bag of his clothes and toys near the back door. It looked like whoever put them there knew the missing 5-year-old wouldn't need them ever again. New York City Transit Authority officers arrested Danielle and Joseph at the Pelham Bay Park Station in the Bronx on Sunday, October the 17th of 2021.
Keep your hand right there. There you go. You got cuffs? 12-5.
Why you guys helping me out? Come on, Liz.
She's double up. Just let him down and so take him out. Come on.
They were held overnight and extradited to New Hampshire the following day. However, they were only charged with child endangerment and witness tampering because they mistreated and neglected Elijah and asked Danielle's brother and sister to lie about his whereabouts. Danielle and Joseph pled guilty, but they weren't charged with any crimes related to his suspicious disappearance. Shortly after arriving in New Hampshire, investigators questioned Danielle and Joseph separately.
Tell me about Elijah and what you understand of why we're here to talk about Elijah.
Because he's missing.
Okay, what can you tell me about that?
Okay, so Elijah, when I got Elijah back in May 26th of 2020.
Okay.
And his dad just like literally drove across the United States and just dropped him off to me. He's a very, very troubled child. He has a lot of mental issues. He likes to. Elijah likes to sneak out of the house. So we have a slider door. And I don't know if you guys have been there.
I have, yeah.
So you've been to my house. So
Yes.
have you felt the slider door, the wiggly handle?
I didn't touch the handle.
Okay,
no.
so the slider door doesn't lock, doesn't
Okay.
latch. He likes to sneak out while we sleep. He wanders while we sleep. He's a wandering little boy. So he's done that so many times. We would wake up and we'll find him. He'll come back in. He'll wake up, come back in, whatever.
Next, Danielle told them about the night Elijah left the house and didn't return.
So in September, I don't know the date. I honestly don't know the date, but September, he decided to wander off again. And us being in active addiction and not wanting to lose our kids, we tried to find him. We looked for him and we're like, okay, well, he's gonna come back. He always came back. So we waited. He didn't come back and we're freaking the fuck out. We're like, where's Elijah? Never came back. I woke Joe up and I said, Elijah's gone.
So did you get high before or after you woke Joe up?
I got after.
Okay, so you woke Joe up and you said Elijah's gone. And what did he do?
He was like, what the fuck, again? I'm like, yep. I'm like, but this time I can't find him. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm freaking out. I was like, I need to do something. I need to calm down. I need to do something.
Did Joe get high with you?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened?
And then we were just trying to think of what the fuck to do, where to find him. We've been looking for him every day. Every day.
So that night, though, in particular, after...
He had to go to work.
So you get high, and then did Joe go outside to look for him that night?
He went outside a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Did
I don't
you
know where
go back outside?
No, I didn't. I stayed in with my daughter.
And during this day, how many times would you say that you used heroin?
In this day?
Yes.
When I woke up, and then I probably would have used it in the afternoon, because when you're pregnant, you have to use a little, it's so f***ed up, I don't like talking about it. Anyways, a few times during the day, and then at night I would use a few times because I would get sick quick.
Okay. So he left at 7 a.m. And what did you do from there?
Freaked out. Didn't know what the f*** to do. I don't know. I'm like, didn't want to lose my daughter, but I wanted to find my son, but I didn't want to lose my daughter. I didn't want to lose my son. I'm pregnant. My mind is going crazy.
Danielle showed very little emotion up until then, but she got agitated when the investigators began asking increasingly pointed questions.
Why didn't you call the police?
Because we didn't want anything to happen. Because DCYF would get involved,
Okay.
and then my daughter would get taken away. So I don't know. It's so hard to explain to people that aren't addicts why we do the things we do, like why we ran, because we're f***ing scared shitless. We're human, it's a reaction. We didn't know what, just like we didn't know what to do.
And when you say you ran, you're talking about when you fled from New Hampshire last week. Okay. And what were you afraid of then when you left?
Because we didn't report it. I was afraid of going to jail and losing my kids.
Okay.
I don't want to go to jail. We didn't do it. I mean, we did do something. We didn't report it, but we didn't do anything.
So we've been working around the clock since last Thursday with a massive team of investigators, the best investigators in the state and in all of New England, looking for your son. What tactics do you think that we should be employing, or where should we be looking for him?
I don't know, but look.
Where do you think he is?
I have no idea.
Do you think that he...
Yeah, what if he's in the lake?
Do you think that he's in the lake?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did Elijah know how to swim?
No.
He doesn't know how to swim. Did you guys ever go and play in the lake?
He's petrified of the water.
He is. Why is that?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you think that somebody has him?
I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. If I knew anything, I would tell you. I have no f***ing idea where he is. He's usually always standing by the beach, at the top of the driveway, or by the beach, because he wants to play in that area, because it's all kid stuff right there. I don't know.
Okay.
Has he ever bled in the bathroom?
He used to, okay, so he would shower and slip.
Okay.
And like there was this one time where he slipped down and he like nicked his eye
Okay.
right there and had like a little cut.
When was that?
God, I don't know. I don't know.
Was that more recent or was that a long time ago?
The eye thing was kind of recent,
Okay.
but
Do you think that would
it
have been
was
the last month?
it was before the shower tile has came down.
Okay.
Because he was showering then. But like we would wash him up and like, cause he would bite him, so he would bite his skin, poke holes. So he was always like always had bleeding.
Okay.
He would bite his lips until he.
In the bathroom though?
We would wash him in the bathroom.
Okay. So if they were to find some blood in the bathroom, it would have been either from when he had slipped.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know why that would be from anything else.
This kid had a lot of problems.
Mhm. Yeah.
And he brought a lot of problems into your home.
Mhm.
And I think everybody has limits.
I'm telling you the God honest truth. I did not do anything to hurt that little boy. I will swear on everything. No, I swear on everything.
Okay.
I swear on everything. I swear.
Here's the thing. Things are going to start to unravel.
Mhm.
Okay, and they're going to. They already have. You know, I mean, we found you pretty quickly. Do you think, in your heart of hearts, as a mom, that Eli is alive?
Now probably not.
Okay.
I mean, a little boy. I'm praying.
I'll be honest with you, I agree with you. I don't think that he's alive.
Meanwhile, different investigators were questioning Danielle's boyfriend, Joseph, in another interrogation room just down the hall. He showed far less emotion than Danielle and was much less communicative.
Okay, so you walk into Eli's room and just kind of take me through what you see.
I thought he was in his bed and he wasn't in his bed.
Okay. So then what did you do?
I went straight outside.
Did you wake up Danielle?
No, they were sound asleep.
He got a little flustered when investigators told him that Danielle's account of the night in question was far different than his.
Is Danielle still in bed?
Yeah.
Is she awake or is she sleeping?
I don't know. I don't want her to like not be able to remember the same exact
We're gonna
thing,
talk
you
to
know what
her.
I mean?
No, but
Like I don't want this to make you guys
But
think
Joe,
that we're not
here's the thing.
mashing out stories or something that's gonna throw you guys off. You know what
No,
I mean?
no.
I don't want you guys to ever think something weird. Like,
why would we think anything's
I
weird?
don't know. Like,
By then, investigators were relatively certain that Danielle and Joseph knew where Elijah was and whether he was alive or dead. Experience told them that it was only a matter of time before they cracked under the pressure and contradicted one another.
But what I'm going to tell you right now is what you've told us, and I just talked to Joe, is the exact opposite as far as how this night went. And that's problematic. That's
What do you mean it's the complete opposite?
as far as what you told me and how you woke up and how you went into the bathroom and then you got a drink and then you went and saw that he wasn't there, that you two are not on the same page on that. When we don't stop digging, and that's when we find all the little little inconsistencies, and that's okay. That's okay. What I'm telling you is all of it is okay, but we need to find him.
I don't know where he is. If I knew where he is, I would honestly tell you right now.
Is that because Joe disposed of him?
No.
Did Joe bring him somewhere?
No. Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, that's what I think.
Well, I would know that though, because I was with him and he did not do anything.
Yep. And I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But this is.
I swear to God, I do no.
Okay.
If I knew he did that, I would f***ing tell you.
I'm not saying that he did anything. I'm not saying that he hurt him.
Well, you just said that, did Joe dispose of his body?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. I've been with him.
Because what I'm saying is, whether it was accidental, whether it was to protect, whatever it was that led to it, I understand why you didn't want to call the police.
No.
Because of the other things.
No, not happening. No, I'm not going to agree to that. No, because I know what happened. No, we did not hurt that little boy, and I do not appreciate you saying that we did.
I'm not saying that you did.
Nobody hurt that little boy.
I'm not saying that they did.
Nothing happened. There would be.
Well, something happened.
Yeah, no one.
Well, I'm not saying that somebody hurt him.
Well, that's exactly what you're saying, though. You just said that, like, you escalated, you couldn't handle it, and then now he's gone, and this and that and that and this. No one hurt that little boy. No one hurt that little boy. We are not monsters. We are very good people. We are very nice. Mm-hmm. Our kids are well taken care of. We have a drug problem. Just do not f***ing judge us because we're drug addicts. We will not f***ing hurt our kids. And I'll take that to my f***ing grave.
No, I'm not judging you. I'm not getting upset.
No, you guys are assuming that we hurt our son and buried him.
I didn't say any of
You
those.
just said disposed of the body.
Yes, I did.
What body did we dispose of?
There's a lot of different ways that people can die.
Mm.
And then people panic. He could have choked. He could have. There's a million different things that could have happened.
No.
He could have choked on food. He could have tripped and fell. He could have hurt himself. He could have drowned. And then you panic. There's a million different things that could have happened that you aren't responsible for. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Just because that little boy, he was still well taken care of. We have never ever hurt that little boy. We love that little boy no matter what.
Yep. But I don't want you to have the weight of the world on your shoulders
for the rest of your life. We didn't do anything. He did not. There's no body.
Then where is he?
I don't know.
Where do you think he would go?
I don't know. He could have been in the lake. Did anybody check the lake?
Of course.
The New Hampshire State Police spent much of Saturday, October the 19th of 2021, searching the 66-acre Natticook Lake in Merrimack. The lake was just a stone's throw from the staff home on Sunset Drive. And according to Danielle, Elijah liked to play at the beach even though he was scared of the water. His body was not found in or around the lake, but later, investigators found a number of significant discoveries while poring over Danielle and Joseph's cell phone records. While police officers, investigators, and divers were searching for Danielle's missing 5-year-old son, GPS data showed that she and Joseph had traveled to the Ames Knoll State Park in Abington, Massachusetts, about 75 miles south of Merrimack. And from there, they drove to the Mohegan Sun Resort and Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut, about 105 miles southwest of Abington. Security camera footage showed they ate and attended a concert while at the casino before boarding a bus to New York City. A few days later, on Wednesday, October the 24th of 2021, state police cadaver dogs led investigators to the remains of a child that had recently been buried face down in the fetal position in a shallow grave at Ames Knoll State Park. Whoever buried the child dragged an old birch tree over the grave in an attempt to obscure it. Unsurprisingly, dental records confirmed it was Elijah. During the autopsy, the medical examiner found significant injuries to his scalp, face, neck, and chest. His body was also covered in pressure ulcers, or as they are more commonly known, bed sores. The medical examiner couldn't determine an exact time of death, but based on the condition of the body, Elijah had probably died between September the 21st and September the 24th of 2021. He also had an acute case of fentanyl intoxication at the time of his death. He was only 3 feet tall and weighed less than 20 pounds. For comparison, most well-nourished boys his age are a few inches taller and weigh nearly twice as much. The medical examiner ruled that the cause of death was violence, neglect, and malnourishment, and that the manner of death was homicide. In the spring of 2022, Danielle was charged with a number of crimes, including second-degree murder, while Joseph was charged with falsifying physical evidence, second-degree assault and witness tampering, and manslaughter. During the booking process at the Merrimack Police Department, Joseph experienced a medical incident and had to be transported to a hospital in Manchester, New Hampshire for treatment. Danielle and Joseph were both being held without bond. And while the wheels of justice turned slowly behind the scenes, Elijah's family begged them to tell investigators everything they knew about his disappearance. Everyone knew he was probably already dead, but Elijah's Uncle John reminded them that it was still cold outside and they needed to find him as soon as possible. That May, Elijah's father, Timothy Lewis, filed a wrongful death suit against his ex-wife Danielle, her boyfriend Joseph Stamp's mother, and the New Hampshire Division for Children, Youth, and Families. A state lawyer asked a judge to dismiss the suit on grounds that the Division of Children, Youth, and Families didn't have custody of Elijah and therefore couldn't be responsible for his death. But in the end, the state settled the case with Mr. Lewis for $2.25 million. According to the terms of the deal, the state admitted no wrongdoing, and Mr. Lewis received 30% of that settlement. Interestingly, the remaining 70% went into a trust for unnamed parties. As her day in court drew near, Danielle accepted a plea deal in which she would agree to forego a trial and plead guilty to second-degree murder and a number of additional charges related to Elijah's death. Unlike some deals, the sentence wasn't carved in stone. In other words, the judge could consider the case and reveal Danielle's punishment at a future sentencing hearing. Attorneys for the prosecution and defense still addressed the court, but only to sway the judge in regard to sentencing. The state asked for 55 years on the grounds that Danielle tortured and neglected her 5-year-old son by starving him, confining him to the tub in the bathroom for extended periods of time, and monitored him by video camera as his condition deteriorated on a daily basis. Even so, the defense asked the judge to show mercy and give Danielle the minimum possible sentence of 35 years. Next, Danielle read a lengthy and emotional statement of her own.
The reason why I'm standing before you today, Your Honor, is due to my actions and choices that led to my 5-year-old son, Elijah's death. All the agony that my son encountered, neglect, mistreatment, isolation, and malnourishment was horrible. No child should ever have to go through any, and in particular, that kind of abuse, especially my son that I have, especially my son that I worked so hard to find when his father took him away from me. I, of all people, should know because that's what happened to me in many similar ways. I also was neglected, mistreated, isolated, and malnourished by my parents and their partners, and I'm so lucky to be alive. I was also sexually abused by people who were supposed to protect me. Even so, Elijah never deserved any of the abuse. Parents are supposed to take care of their children. I don't deserve my abuse either. I was lucky that I had some time in foster care with wonderful people who gave me a glimpse of better role modeling. If I could have remained with them, I truly feel like my life could have gone in a better direction because I saw a life that I had never known. Sorry. Hold on, Your Honor. Let me go back. I truly feel like life could have gone in another direction before I saw a life that I had never known. Even with Elijah's behavioral issues, His death should never have happened, and I wish that I could have could have done better and take it all back. I didn't know how to make better decisions at the time. I did not know what to do. I was also deep in my addiction and not making great choices. Such as not contacting DZUM to get the help Eliza needed because I was afraid that my daughter and my unborn baby was... I can't do it.
Upon your plea of guilty to the crime of second-degree murder, knowing you are sentenced as follows. You are sentenced to the New Hampshire State Prison for not more than life nor less than 50 years. There is added to the minimum sentence a disciplinary period equal to 150 days for each year of the minimum term of your sentence to be prorated for any part of the year. You are entitled to pretrial confinement credit of 1,103 days.
Joseph's sentencing hearing didn't get the media coverage that Danielle's did. Even so, a number of victim impact statements were read before the court before the judge revealed how many years Joseph would spend behind bars.
I never wanted any of this to happen to Elijah. I wish I could go back and change everything. I wish I seek help. Elijah deserves to be loved. He deserves to be loved. He deserved the medical attention that he needed. He didn't deserve to go through that. I wish I could have done something to save him. I love that boy, I do. I'm so sorry to everybody that has to deal with this. It's so traumatizing, and I'm so sorry, I truly am. I wish I could take it back. So. Thank you, Mr. Staff. You may be seated.
Despite his emotional apology, the judge sentenced Joseph to 22 to 45 years in prison. We would like to express our sincere condolences to the Sturmer family on their loss.